All right, what up? So in this video, I'm going to show you how to identify what a good role is, what a good role looks like, and what a good or a bad high ticket sales role looks like by looking at the job postings. Now, I'm making this video because I was talking to someone and they were telling me I'm applying for all these roles that I see on job boards, but I can't really tell what a good job is and what a bad job is because they're so vague in their explanations. It's very hard to tell. So that's what we're going to talk about here. Now, before we get into it, you should not be worrying about this too much. You should just be applying to jobs, like to as many as you can. Like you shouldn't be getting hung up on every little one, and wasting all this time. You just need to be applying to all of them. And you should be doing outreach, a ton of it, not getting hung up on each little thing. So that aside, it's still helpful for you to know how to look at these job postings and read into the fine print, kind of, so to speak, and tell when they're being real with you or when they're misleading you. So let's get into it. Now, I've got 3 examples up, and a couple of them are going to be good examples, and I'm going to show you a bad example. So the first one, I just went on ZipRecruiter. The job board doesn't really matter. I just went on this one because I see a lot of high-ticket closer roles posted on this job board. So this is they're called Greystone Trading, okay? And it says 180K to 480K a year contract, which is what high-ticket sales is, contracted work. But what I want you to see, and the first thing I noticed, is they tell you immediately what they're selling, and they tell you how much it cost, which you will not see in a lot of job postings. So you know it's high ticket. It costs $7K. I really don't see that often, so that's a good sign. And they're telling you straight up, we sell a program, a coaching program. And they're doing trading, options trading, which is a big deal. There's a ton of those coaching programs. So they're giving you that information up front immediately, whereas a lot of other roles will just kind of be super vague with you about what they do, what you're going to be doing on a daily basis. Sometimes they don't even tell you what you're selling. So this is a good sign. They're telling you what it costs, exactly what the product is in the very beginning of the job description. Now, next thing in this same job description, here you'll see it says at least 6 months of remote business to consumer sales experience. When you see this, a lot of people will say, oh, I'm a beginner, I don't have any experience, so I just won't apply. Don't do that. You should apply no matter what because you never know, okay? So don't get hung up on these little things thinking, oh, well, I don't have experience, because you just never know when they might take a chance on you. And it takes you you can just quick apply. It probably takes you like 10 seconds to do. So don't let that discourage you. Next thing that I noticed in this same job posting. Now they tell you that the on-target earnings are between 180K up to a 420K, which is kind of a broad range, but you will have a broad range when you have a sales team. Some people are going to make a lot. Some people are going to make less. That's just normal. So I feel like they're probably being honest about this. A lot of times they will embellish on that. But if someone's making 420K a year on their sales team, that means they have someone that's doing almost 40K a month. So that means either they are doing really, really well and making a lot of money every month, which I don't doubt because trading is like a super hot thing. So a ton of people are going to buy this program. But they're also being honest with you about the lower end. Like 180K is probably what their lower closers make. And again, these are just like things that I want you to like key in on. But you're never going to be able to tell everything from a job posting. When you actually get on an interview with someone, you can go in there with questions. I would send you in there with questions that would give me all the information that I need. So before you even started a role, you get on an interview and you ask the right questions. I've got all the info I need that would tell me everything about the role. But when you're applying, it's good to kind of key in on these things, know what to look for, know when they're misleading you or when you can tell, okay, they're probably being honest with me. Now, this next example that I found is for 6-figure creative, remote, high-ticket closer, inside sales representative, whatever. So when you scroll down, the first thing that stuck out to me is they tell you exactly what you'll do. As a remote high-ticket closer, your main goal is to effectively convert inbound leads into clients for our coaching program. That's what we want, using a consultative sales approach on a mix of Zoom and phone. So you know you're taking inbound calls. You know you're probably not going to get in there and they're going to slap you with cold calling, right? And then they go into more detail. Once they book a time on your calendar, you will guide them toward making an informed decision on whether this program is suitable for them. So they're saying, we don't want you to sell to everybody, only people who are good fits. That's another good sign. Your focus will be on ensuring that the entire process runs smoothly and efficiently, with the ultimate goal of keeping high conversion rates while maintaining sales integrity, which means not selling to people that the product isn't right for. We can't help everybody, so part of the job is knowing when someone isn't a good fit. These are good signs. This is a high-ticket role where you would get in there, and as long as they stick to this, that's where you want to be, right? You don't want to be selling something that people don't want, and if they're running their business like this, people obviously want this, and they're only selling to people who they know they can help, right? So they've hit some boxes for me up front that I like, but something that did stick out to me in this role is they're very conservative with like your ramp up time. So ramp up from 25 completed calls per month to 65 completed calls per month with a 20% close rate. 30% or above is really good, so they're being conservative with that 20% close rate. But starting at 25 completed calls means that you're going to be probably like shadowing someone when you first get in. So like it says here, learn our product offering, system sale to be effective in the position, and you only need to close 3 clients from 25 completed calls in the first month. That's super easy to do. So from the way they're describing this, if you wanted to get into a role where you had a lot of help at the beginning and they weren't expecting you to like knock it out of the park, this is how you can tell that you would be like eased into it, right? Because they're describing that to you. They're not expecting a lot from you, and they're going to ramp you up slowly, like super slowly over a few months. So if you're that type of person, I would look for something like this. And then it goes on to say that I'll work with you directly to help you develop personally and professionally, and possibly even grow into the role of director of sales. I expect to bring in more sales reps over the next 12 to 24 months as we scale. So that means that they're exploding, possibly, because they're already planning on to bring in a lot of reps. They're probably doing very well. So that means that they need people, right? So seeing things like this can help you kind of identify, where is this business at? Are they doing well? Are they not doing well? This is kind of an indicator to me that they're doing well. Now, again, a caveat, they can lie to you at any time, but you still just want to go off what they're saying, because a lot of times you just want to give them the benefit of the doubt, because they will be honest. But if they're lying, you will find out later on the interview. So it's really not worth thinking about when you're applying to the roles, basically. I also looked them up, right? And what they do is basically they show other businesses how to get more clients, which is huge. Businesses will pay for that, because that's what businesses need to make more money, is more clients. So I don't doubt that they do very well. I haven't looked like super deep into them, but the product that they are selling is wanted by the market. Businesses do want this. So this would be something, after everything I've just shown you, if I was looking at this job, I'd be like, okay, this looks good, I'm applying. So that's how I would look at it. I wouldn't analyze any further than that, and I would just send the application and move on to the next one. Now I'm going to show you a confusing one. So this one looks like a bad role off of things that I've seen in the job posting, but I also saw something later. I was like, well, maybe it is a good role. So that's what we're going to go over. The first thing is $60K a year, okay? If they're putting that is what you're going to make, it's probably going to be less than that, way less than that up front. And if that's like your ceiling, that's not what you're looking for, right? So that's not terrible money, but that's not why you got into high-ticket sales. So that I'm questioning why they put that number up there. One, because it's not attractive. Two, that's not really what a high-ticket closer makes that's successful. So it's an interesting number. But they do say this is for someone that has less than 6 months of sales experience. So it's obviously an entry-level role. And maybe you will make more later if you move up, but they didn't really say that. They only specify the $60K, so that kind of raises a flag, but I still need to know more. But when you scroll down, this is the next thing that I kind of raised my ears. This application is for you to join our talent pool. So it's not like a direct hire. You're going to be thrown into a pool of other people that they are considering. So we have consistent opportunities with leaders in the business coaching niche. The roles that we open are for inbound sales closing, which is good, and some others for appointment setting and closing. regardless of your level of experience, you'll be presented opportunities for the client accounts that we best see fit your profile. Now, what that means is they might be placing you into other people's businesses. So that, again, why are they posting a job for that? I'm starting to see things that don't make total sense. Now, again, I cannot get all the information, and I have to keep saying this because it's very important. You never know until you actually speak with a real person on an interview what the actual situation is. But up front, this is kind of like, what is going on here? So you're just adding me to a talent pool. This isn't for an actual job. Maybe you'll place me into a role with someone who's the other person, right? Like, I don't know who that is. You're just saying for client accounts. What client accounts? These are all very vague things that people will do that sound good but are not good. So they'll try to attract you in with this like high-level language that you don't understand, and then they'll smack you with the real situation when they get you on the phone, which could be any kind of terrible situation. But I did go and look them up, and they do all kinds of stuff. So it looks like they build sales teams, they build sales systems, things like this for online businesses. And if you scroll down and it shows you their clients, these are all huge people like Russell Brunson, ClickFunnels, Myron Golden, Bashar. These are all very Russ Ruffino. Like, if you've been in online business for a while, you know, or even for a little bit, you know who these people are. So if they're working with all these big people, they're doing something right. This guy, Alaric, he does YouTube stuff. All of these people are well known and very successful. So if they're working with this company, they're doing something right. But that doesn't mean that this job posting or this job pool is legit. You have to know the difference, right? I can't really tell what they're going to do when you get on the phone. So this to me is raising some flags. I don't want to be added to a talent pool. You might get on the phone with them and they'll be like, yeah, we'll place you into this cool role, but you got to give us $15K or something. And you're like, what? I thought this was a job posting, right? And then they won't tell you that till you get on the phone. I don't know that's the case, but I'm seeing things in this where I'm like, I don't know about this. But at the end of the day, you should still shoot off the application. But now that you know how to look at these things, if you got a call or like a message to interview with them, now you know to go into the interview thinking, okay, I need to ask about these things. These things confused me when I was looking at the posting. Can you give me more information about that? Those would be the first things that I would ask going into an interview. And just to wrap this one up, they give you a little more information. They say if you're a skilled closer, which means you have experience, we'll assign you to a high-ticket closing role. The goal is to close leads on high-ticket coaching programs, which is what you want, created by the client. Who's the client? It's just one of these people on your website. I don't know who it is. This will be done through inbound appointments, mainly video calls, which is what you want. But then it goes on to say if you're getting started, you are still eligible, quote unquote, for some closer opportunities, but you'll mainly be assigned for appointment setting and low ticket sales. So if you're trying to get a high ticket closer role, they just told you that's probably not going to happen unless you've got a lot of experience. So reading into all this fine print is important. So these are just some examples. I'm going to make some more videos like this, but I don't want this video to get too long. Showing you how to look at these job postings. I'll post up more examples, so I will make more videos like this with more examples. But when you apply, remember two things. You should just be firing off applications, okay? You shouldn't be like spending 30 minutes on like one job posting trying to figure it out. Just look at it, look for some fine print, and fire off the application. But it's also helpful for you to get good at this and be able to tell when they're bullshitting you, because that's just going to help you get a job faster. So more of these videos to come. If you want my help getting a setter role or a closer role, hit the link in the description. Schedule a call with me so that we can talk. Until next time.